enzymes, which is swelling of my heart muscles. I had pancreatitis, which basically was that my body just couldn't take fatty food, and I had massive pain through the center of my stomach, through my back, ripping me apart, feeling like I was going to rupture, and it turns out I had pancreatitis. One lymph node in my neck has been swollen for years with no apparent reason. Cysts in my breasts all the way through my armpits. A ton of cardiac arrhythmias. I was diagnosed with lupus about 8 years ago with all this going on, with before that mixed connective tissue disease. This is kind of important because they are finding that a lot of the women that have this have all been diagnosed with the same thing. There is one Facebook page that has over 90,000 women that are participating that have all had the same symptoms. And if you're going to tell me that the FDA and Allergan doesn't know all the stuff that's out there on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on websites, all about a breast implant and illness, I'm going to call your bluff. Bullshit. You know. I've had a major drop in my blood levels. My red blood count and my white blood count both were dropping quite a bit recently, to the point where they thought I needed a hematologist. Thankfully, things started to go up, but it was scary for a while because they didn't know if there was a leukemia. I've had pain throughout every joint. You can no longer rub my thighs in a massage because the pain is excruciating. I developed Raynaud syndrome, which is circulation that's so bad in my toes that they actually go numb and they turn white. I've had massive hair loss. Not like hair loss on a daily basis where people like, oh, that's cute, I have hair in the sink. I'm talking hair loss that's equivalent to if I was doing chemotherapy. Clumps of hair that I drop, that I've been complaining about for years since the surgery. I have something called interstitial cystitis. That's basically an inflammation of your bladder. Bladder did not work for quite some time. I developed Hunter's ulcers inside, which are big, massive ulcers that are the most excruciating pain you can take, to the point where I started having to get shots once a week directly into my bladder for 2 straight years to get my bladder to actually work and for the inflammation to go down. At one point, they thought I needed a bladder replacement surgery. Severe endometriosis, which, I did have prior to the implants, in all fairness, but definitely has progressed more since they've gone in. So not to mention that I also developed POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. So basically every time I change positions too quickly, I want to pass out. So this is the list that's been going on for 13 years that I have now written up in a nice little letter that's going to be sent to the FDA. The reason why I'm telling you this is because on next Tuesday, on September 17th, I have decided to remove my breast implants. And this is a big decision for me because I am incredibly vain. And I love my fashion. I love my makeup. I love my shoes, my accessories. I live in this world that that's everything, and it might sound shallow, but vanity is all part of that. And I don't ever go out without a good outfit, without makeup on. It's just not who I am, unless I'm really sick, and then people know when I'm sick. But even when I'm really sick, I try, because psychologically, I just don't like to let any of my illnesses define me. But again, on Tuesday, I am going to remove my implants. Allergan has offered people $2,000 for surgery that you have to pay out of pocket because, mind you, we put these implants in by choice. We didn't choose to get sick, but we chose to get the implants. So God forbid any insurance companies or the company that is put letters out in people's hands saying, if you're symptomatic, you might want to remove these. because they're causing cancer will not cover anything. But instead, they make a lovely gesture of giving you $2,000 to have new implants put in. Initially, I was going to do that because vanity is so important to me, and I am frightened of what I'm going to look like when they reconstruct me. But I'm saying screw you to Allergan. I'm not accepting your $2,000 stupid dollars, and I'm not accepting new implants from a company that has been hiding information from the public for years. Screw you. I think it's so important that people know what's going on and that people don't support these companies, these big companies that truly you're just the guinea pig. They're using you as a lab rat. They don't care what happens to you. They take no responsibility for it. And instead, they offer you a little bit of a peace treaty by saying, here's a little bit of money out of the full money that you have to pay to get these things out of you. I am petrified for the surgery. They will be cutting me. They will be taking the implants out, and there's a capsular part of the implant that surrounds it that has to be sent out. So basically it's underneath the muscle. They'll cut underneath me. They'll cut up and across, and they will pull the existing implant out. They will pull the capsular part around the implant, which is tissue that basically is the muscle that is on top of your rib cage, close to where your lungs are. And all that will be sent out to be biopsied. I will then wait for the biopsies to find out if I have the cancer. So when they're doing all that, they will then reconstruct me with tissue that is left over and recreate breasts that are pretty much going to be equivalent to what I would look like if I had a mastectomy, because it'll be flat. But I am doing this because it is what I would tell my daughters to do. Health first, vanity second, and I have to just get out of my own head. But I think it's really important that this is shown, and I will be sending this video onto the companies, because you are messing with women and you are messing with their lives. And it's not even their lives.